This is the Minnesota State Fair. It's my favorite state fair in the country, but here at the Minnesota State Fair, there are 8 vendors that make well over $1 million during the 12 days of the fair. So what does it take to make millions of dollars in just 12 days? Well, I'm here at the 2025 Minnesota State Fair to find out and taste the foods from the vendors that rake in over $1 million each. And you won't believe which food vendor here rakes in more than some McDonald's locations do in a year. And not only am I going to sample the foods from the food vendors in the $1 Million Club at the fair, I'm also taking you all behind the scenes to see how these vendors prep all that food for the millions of fairgoers. These food vendors are well-oiled machines that are in perpetual motion, producing millions of food items every day. And I'm going to rank them starting at the ones that make only a measly $1 million, all the way up to the #1 spot that really does take in more in 12 days than some fast food restaurants do in a year.
We have a lot of cookie monsters here at the fair.
Hey, and I'm one of them. So let's go eat over $1 million worth of food right here at the 2025 Minnesota State Fair. I'm Dāv Kaufman. I travel to distant, exotic places and places a little closer to home to indulge in the culture and cuisine from the familiar to the extreme. There's always an open seat at my table for you, and sure, I'll pick up the tab. This is Dāv Kaufman Eats the World. All right, so we're gonna start our $1 million vendor club tour right here at Gourmet. And they come in at number 8. Gourmet brings in just a bit over $1 million in 12 days, with their claim to fame being giant egg rolls on a stick. You can't get more Minnesota State Fair than that.
Oh my God, I love you. So we drove up from Perryville, Missouri, which is south of St. Louis, an hour. But we came up here because I saw you. So, because you were here and you get around about as much as I do, we had to come to the Minnesota State Fair.
I love it. So you're here because you watched one of my videos.
Not one, many.
Many. I love it. Thank you so much.
You get around.
Wonderful to meet you.
Yes,
I'm glad you're here. Enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. Thanks much, y'all.
It is always great to meet fans, but right now I'm heading over to Gourmet to get one of their giant egg rolls. It's back this way. Let's go over here. So right here we have our jumbo giant egg roll on a stick from Gourmet. This thing, I mean, look at how huge this thing is. It is the size of a corn dog. But one of the things that I really appreciate about this egg roll is that it is served with a copious amount of duck sauce. Yeah, that's a you, not an I. All right, I'm digging in and I'm giving this a try. Unreal. That is so unbelievably good. You know, they could have packed this down with a bunch of very cheap vegetables, a lot of filler, but they didn't. This is packed with so much of that delicious spicy meat. Now I can see why they do over $1 million worth of sales out of this vendor booth in just 12 days. These are the most amazing egg rolls, packed with so much meat, so many vegetables, so much flavor. These are absolutely amazing. So coming in at number 7 is this place, the Corn Roast, probably one of the most recognizable food vendors here at the State Fair. The way they make this roasted corn to serve to the masses is absolutely incredible. Wait until you guys see how it's done. All right, guys, so I'm just gonna sneak my way in the back in the corn roast, and I'm gonna meet with Nate. This is like the most incredible operation in the fair.
Yeah, so we call this the corn roast because it's a meeting spot. It's not just a stand, this is an overall experience. Like a dinner and a show, you buy a corn ticket, you may get your corn, but you can sit back and watch this absolute beautiful chaos that we have going on behind us. So where we're gonna go is back to where it all begins. At the beginning of the evening, we get our load of corn. End of the night, we have trucks back up into here. 2 26-foot semis, back up, parked right here. 30 kids hand unload 50-pound sacks of corn, and we fill up our reefer every single night. At the beginning of the day, this was full. Every single day we'll fill this up. And then because corn is only so good, you gotta add butter. This is all 55-pound blocks of butter.
This place was full 6 hours ago. That's how much corn gets moved from this location to all the waiting people over there. But we have only just begun. Next step is...
Sweet corn is really made to be roasted. So we have 2 types of processes that we roast our corn. We use an open pit natural gas grill, and we also use these custom-built roasters. So we call this the pit. These ladies are working their absolute tails off Shucking the corn, making sure that you have a good handle on the end of the corn, but not too many feathers to where we're gonna jam the machine. Then 25 minutes later, big conveyor belt comes all the way through, 600 degrees in there, and we toss it into one of our corn bins. We're gonna send this down our skate roller, and we're gonna see the next step of the process. All right, we got our fresh delivery of corn from heaven. We're gonna drop this into one of our boxes. And you know, we like to have a little fun here. Hey, Marky Mark!
Nice catch.
So they need some corn over here. We're gonna walk through this crazy pile of people. Coming in hot, ladies.
Coming in lukewarm behind him.
Thank you.
We don't boil our corn, we roast our corn. Look at this one. This actually, the sugar caramelizes and turns into an absolute amazing piece of corn.
Damn.
Then, what we do is we gotta take it for a little bath. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's some butter right there. Look at that. Now we find a wonderful selective customer who's looking for a cob of corn. Who needs a cob? That guy right there, look at that. Enjoy the corn ride.
All right, so you have hundreds of employees working here at any given time.
On our peak, we have about 100. We have over 400 from volunteers and staff members. We work with local dance teams that come together and say, hey, we want to do a fundraiser. So they come, we pay them hourly, and then it goes back to their dance studio.
Oh, that's fantastic.
What I absolutely love about this is it levels the playing field of every single person. It doesn't matter if you're popular with the best J's on your feet. Everybody is in the pit, they're dirty, they're sweaty, and you create absolute amazing friendships when the 12 days of the fair.
I love it.
All because of this great corn roast.
Dude, this is awesome. Thank you so much for showing us how the corn is made. Now, I'm gonna go get an ear of corn, and my nephew is standing right out there. I'm gonna get him an ear of corn as well. So no sooner did I get my corn than I ran into my nephew, Jared, the food reporter for the St. Paul Pioneer Press. You guys have seen him in a ton of other videos. You guys are gonna see him in a ton more videos because we've got a lot of ideas that we're going to continue to do. We have a lot of food around the Twin Cities to eat. Right now, we have got our corn. Look at how golden, look at how delicious, look at how
Succulent, maybe?
succulent. Every time I'm at the fair, I always get one of these. I absolutely love it. They're one of my favorite things to eat at the fair. Are you ready? Ting!
Oh,
I don't know how they do that.
it's perfect. Every single time, it's perfect.
This is delicious. It's amazing. It's sweet where it needs to be sweet, buttery where it needs to be buttery. Kind of like me.
That's what I've always said about you.
Sweet and buttery.
Sweet and buttery. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yellow and corny and
Well, it was a pleasure running into you, as always, here at the State Fair. I'm
Likewise.
glad you made it into yet another video. You have an article to write that comes out tonight, you said.
that's right.
Oh my God. So you got to get going.
You gotta get cracking.
You have a lot of work to do, and we have a lot more food to check out. So coming in at a very surprising 6th place is this place, the American Dairy Association's all-you-can-drink milk. Yep, you heard me right. The 6th biggest top-grossing food vendor at the fair is the American Dairy Association. And this year, they're celebrating their 70th anniversary at the fair. For $3 a glass for all-you-can-drink milk, they poured 26,000 gallons of milk, raking in $1.4 million during the 12 days of the fair. So the American Dairy Association has bottomless cups of milk for $3 each. You can either get plain, well, I guess milk flavored, or you can get chocolate milk. I got the chocolate milk. And for $3 you can take this cup back and get it refilled as many times as you want. Let's see how this chocolate milk is. That is good chocolate milk. You know, sadly, I am actually lactose intolerant, and I very rarely drink milk unless I know I'm going to be in close proximity in a confined location with my siblings, which I will be later. I will be drinking plenty of chocolate milk. That's really good. You know, some siblings have sibling rivalry. Me and my brother and sister, ooh, we have chemical warfare. This is really good milk. Yes, can't wait to see them later on today. So finally, we have come to number 5, and that is this place right behind me. This is the famous Fresh French Fries. so I'm heading in the back right now. One of the owners, Dan, is going to show us how these French fries are made. All right, so I'm here with Dan, who is one of the owners of Fresh French Fries. This is like a well-oiled machine back here. No pun intended, because there's a lot of oil back there. But
we only sell French fries and water and pop. So this is it.
This is it.
This is it. And we start with potatoes from just north of the Twin Cities, about an hour north.
So locally grown potatoes right here in Minnesota.
The nice thing too, the timing is perfect. They guarantee us they've only been on the ground like 2 or 3 days at the most. And they drive them down here every morning at 4 a.m. So we come here and they are here.
How many potatoes are we looking at right here?
So we go through about 400,000 pounds during the fair.
400,000 pounds of potatoes.
So depending on the day, 20 and 40,000 pounds a day.
That's insane. I mean, that just boggles your mind thinking about that. All right, so the potatoes go from here, they go in here.
Yeah, going in right here. So they start with a peeler. So basically that's sandpaper and water, and it spins them around, takes the peel off of the potato. Once the potatoes are in, so they're spinning around, getting clean, taking the skin off, and then they're right into the cutter. So they're freshly cut, and then these guys will fill up the baskets as they are empty. They'll throw the empty baskets down this chute.
And this dude fills them up.
Fills them up, and then he'll throw them right down that center chute. And then they're right into the fryer.
How many fryers you got back here?
We have 12 fryers.
12 fryers.
Yep. And so basically they are quadruple fried. So these are raw. We'll put them in right here. And then they're about 2 minutes in each fryer until they're about done. And so then once they're done, they start floating. He'll bring them up. When we're going full bore, it is, all 12 fryers are going, all 12 windows are open. And it's organized chaos, but we just keep them going as fast as they can.
This is an incredible operation.
Yeah.
And so what else do you do other than this throughout the year?
Yeah, I'm an attorney. I work for a corporation here in town. So this is 12 days out of our year, and I just take PTO, and this is the job. It's a nice break from reality, I'll tell you. Sitting in a cubicle or a desk.
That's right.
It's a lot better than that.
Wow,
so
this is an incredible operation. We're going to try out some fries here.
Good. Yeah, I'll get you some.
All right, so now that we've just seen how the fries are made, let's test these out. Oh man, these taste just about as fresh as can be because they are made fresh right in front of us. I think a lot of people pass this place and think, I'm not in the mood for French fries. Do not pass this place. These French fries are made right in front of you. They are the freshest, most tastiest, deliciest. You only get to get these French fries once a year, and there is an absolute definite reason why fresh French fries here at the Minnesota State Fair comes in at number 5. These are absolutely amazing. I think I should have gotten a bigger bucket. So coming in at number 4 is the perfect pickle. I'm taking you guys behind the scenes to see how the pickles are made. So I'm here with Jen. Jen, what's your role here?
I handle all of our communications with the public, social media, PR. My husband is one of the 3 owners. My kids work in the booth. This is what we do during the 12 days of the fair. Everybody's involved.
Everybody's involved?
Everybody. All the other 3 partners have kind of smaller side businesses, but this has really become kind of our main thing.
How many pickles do you go through in the 12 days of the fair?
We go through about 5 semi-trailers full.
5 semi-trailers full of pickles. Where do you source 5 semi-trailers full of pickles?
We have a wholesaler in Chicago that we work with, and they've been really great. They all get delivered here, and then we use a distributor to get them delivered to the grounds.
How do you serve as many people as you do? Because every time I'm here, you have a line that goes all the way back to the other side of the fair almost. How do you service that many people?
We've worked really hard to get our whole operation down to the exact seconds and how long it takes everything. We have a separate station for making your purchase, and then you get a color-coded pickle chip that you take to the middle to pick up your product.
You get a pickle chip to get your pickle chips.
Yes, exactly.
I love it. Well, this is amazing. How long have you guys been at the fair?
We have been here 28 years.
28 years.
Yep, we were in the food building for quite a while. We've had this trailer outside now for 15 years, and we also have a large building up on the north end. This is our 3rd year operating out of that.
So you have 2 locations here at the fair.
Yeah.
Okay, this is amazing. Can we go in the back and see the fryers?
Sure. Back here is where we do all of the battering. They come out of the buckets, they get dried off, and then they go into these batter machines. We have a wet batter and then a breadcrumb coating. And it's all automated through these machines. So they drop the pickles in on the top, and then they come out ready for the fryer in a bin on the bottom.
So right here is where we fry up the pickles that are already breaded.
Yep.
And how many fryers do we have here?
We have 6 here.
So in those 5 trailers of pickles, do you go through every one of them? Are you sold out by the end of the fair?
If we're doing our job correctly, yes. And we usually do.
So I see tons of people working up here. There's tons of people working up there. How many employees do you have at any given time?
Well, at any given time, probably about 50 in each location. Overall, we have about 300 employees that work over the 12 days of the fair at the 2 locations.
This is an incredible operation. I'm gonna get some pickles. We're gonna try these out.
Sounds awesome.
All right, so right here we have the Gourmet pickle. And these are original fried pickles with a cream cheese center served with a side of ranch for 12 bucks. So you can't eat just the pickle alone. I'm gonna dip it in this ranch and we're gonna try this out. Wow. So I gotta be honest, not much of a pickle guy. I don't like seek out pickles, but when you're at a place like this, you've gotta try their pickles, and there is so much flavor here. There's that tangy dill flavor of the pickle. There's that smooth cream cheese that this is stuffed with, and the batter is something unlike any other batter that I've had on any other fair foods. It's crisp, it's flavorful. All those flavors together coupled with the ranch, these are just amazing pickles. When you have pickles this good, that's the reason why you see a line all the way almost to the other side of the fair.
And that's why the perfect pickle comes in at number 4 with $1.5 million in sales in just 12 days.
So right here in the food building, we get to number 3. This is the mouth trap. So right now I'm gonna head in the back and I'm gonna meet with the owner, Dave, and he's gonna show us how cheese curds are made from start to finish. This is a hive of activity. I have no idea how I'm gonna get back there. I'm just gonna walk in. All right, so we are heading in the back of the mouth trap here, and this is how all of these cheese curds are made. And this is Dave, the owner. How long have you owned this?
I've owned this for 25 years.
25 years. All right, so we're gonna start in the walk-in.
What we do is we bring in definitely right around the 5 or 6 pallets of cheese. That equates to about 7,000 pounds per night. So there we bring the cheese in here and we'll pour it into our buckets. It's a 40-pound box.
40-pound box.
So it's a white cheddar.
Then he brings the bucket over here.
So they'll bring it right to one of the 2 of these 2 tables here. They'll pour the cheese into the bin and they'll pour the batter right over the cheese. Batter is the dry batter. We use an ice cold water and it's a proprietary batter. So what we do is we mix them together. We try to keep the consistency the same at all times.
These guys here, their only job is to put batter on the cheese.
Put batter on the cheese, right.
All right, and then from there, we bring it to the fryer.
From there, the fryers will fry up the cheese. Kids at the serving tables then will move it and pass it on to the customer.
Wow, so this is a conveyor belt.
Kind of like that, yeah.
How many employees do you have working every day here?
Well, altogether we have about 220, and I would say that at any given time there's about 60 people on per shift.
How many orders of cheese curds do you do every day?
About 120,000.
120,000
orders, right.
All right, so that is how the Mouth Trap does their cheese curds. I love these cheese curds so much, I got 2 of them. We're gonna go over there and test these out. So here we have 2 boats full of those golden cheesy nuggets that I love so much. As a matter of fact, I was just telling Dave that for years, I make a beeline right to his place every single time I'm here at the fair to get his cheese curds. But the thing that I love about the Mouth Trap cheese curds is that these are big, heavy, big chunks of cheese. They are fried to a perfect golden brown. I'm gonna waste no time. We're gonna dig in and try these. Every single year that I have these cheese curds, they just get better and better and better. I mean, this is just perfection within a little bite of cheese. That white cheddar cheese is melted to perfection. It's greasy, it's delicious. This is the quintessential Minnesota fair food.
With an operation like this that's been a staple of the state fair for 25 years, it's no wonder how the Mouth Trap is in the $1 Million Club with $1.6 million in sales in just 12 days.
I'm telling you, the Mouth Trap is the place to go when you come to the Minnesota State Fair. So coming in at number 2 is this place, Pronto Pups. Wiener done on a bun. But they've been here since 1947, and they have 8 locations around the fair, and every one of them has a line around the block. And collectively, out of those 8 locations, they bring in $2.3 million in sales in just 12 days. And look at that, they even have a mascot. It's Pepe the Pronto Pup. I'm gonna go get me a pronto pup. Right here, we have got the world famous pronto pup. There are, like I said, 8 locations of pronto pups around the fair. And again, pronto pups, they come in at number 2 with over $2 million in sales in the 12 days of the fair. I've got my pronto pup. I'm digging in. We're trying it out. You know, I'll tell you, there are some state fair foods that are just quintessential to a fair, and a pronto pup is one of them. Now, you're probably thinking, what's the difference between a corn dog and a pronto pup? Is there a difference? Yes, there is a difference. Corn dogs are made out of just cornmeal and a hot dog, whereas pronto pups also made out of cornmeal, but there's a lot of other ingredients in this batter that makes the difference between a corn dog and a pronto pup. In nearly $2.5 million in sales over 12 days, that is a lot of pronto pups. This is delicious. And finally, we have come to the #1 top grossing vendor here at the Minnesota State Fair. Have you guys guessed which one it is yet? If you guessed Sweet Martha's Cookies, you're absolutely right.
So I'm gonna head in the back and I'm gonna meet with Erica, who's going to show us how they make millions upon millions of cookies in just minutes and why they take their crown as the #1 top grossing vendor here at the fair with $4.9 million in sales in just 12 days out of their 3 locations here at the fair. And yes, again, that's more than some McDonald's locations gross in a year.
All right, so this is Erica. You are the PR person for Sweet Martha's. You're going to give us a tour and show us how the cookies are made.
Yes. We have 3 locations at the Minnesota State Fair, and during the fair, we can bake up to 3 million cookies. This is all the dry mix. The Sweet Martha's cookies are a secret recipe, but this is all the dry mix that they use to mix the cookie dough. It's mixed fresh every day on the spot. All the cookies are baked, oven hot, served to the customers fresh every day.
So if it's a secret recipe, do you want to tell everybody what the secret recipe is?
Sure, there's no kidding.
Channel, so. You have this specially made for you guys?
Yes, yep, there's a local manufacturer that manufactures the dry mix for us. And then we also use a bittersweet chocolate, so it offsets the sweetness of the cookie. I know Martha and all her business partners love that kind of cocoa content of the chocolate chips.
How much of this do you go through in the 12 days of the fair?
A lot. We use about 143,000 pounds of flour, 125,000 pounds of chocolate chips, 197,000 pounds of sugar, and 58,000 pounds of eggs. So a lot of ingredients throughout the 12 days of the Minnesota State Fair.
Just in 12 days?
Yes. On average, we do about 1 million cookies a day between all 3 locations, but on our busiest days, we can bake up to 3 million cookies. We have a lot of cookie monsters here at the fair.
Hey, and I'm one of them.
So let's dive right in and start making these cookies. Each batch of cookies begins right here in a giant mixing bowl where it takes 5 bags of dry mix to start the process, which is then mixed with 25 pounds of shortening, which all has to be broken into smaller chunks by hand. Once that batter reaches the perfect consistency, it's time to add the good part, adding those little morsels of semi-sweet perfection, which could quite possibly be more chocolate chips than you ever thought existed in the world. And after that, well, they add even more chocolate chips. After a while, that famous chocolate chip cookie dough is taking shape, and then it's on to the next step in the process.
All right, so next step, after we have mixed our cookies, we bring them over here.
The dough comes over here, and it gets dolloped onto cookie trays.
This machine is called a dolloper. It has one function, and that's to dollop. And it dollops the perfect size balls of cookie dough onto the baking sheets to prep them for the oven. Back when Sweet Martha's cookie jar first began over 45 years ago, someone had to crank this machine by hand all day. And since then, that lady has moved on to a new career of being the arm wrestling champion of Minnesota to this day. I don't know if that's true or not, but it could be. Anyway, on to the next step. As we move on to the next step, we pass racks upon racks of sheets of cookies all lined up waiting for their turn for the next step, and that's the baking process. The racks are wheeled over to what could be the most unique and interesting cookie baking ovens you've ever seen.
So he's going to wheel this rack of cookie dough into this oven. It'll bake for about 12 minutes, and then once they're baked, they kind of cool for a few minutes before they're served.
This is the first time that I think that I've ever seen a walk-in oven. That's crazy.
And not only are these walk-in ovens, they are rotating convection ovens. And there are 8 of these walk-in ovens just at this location.
But there's 21 total of the double ovens and 1 single oven. So 22 ovens total between all 3 booths.
With 48 cookies on a tray and 48 trays in a rack, that's 2,304 cookies, and with 8 ovens going at once, they make a staggering 18,000 cookies in just 12 minutes, and that's just at this location alone.
So between all 3 locations, we can bake up to 44,000 cookies every 12 minutes. So it's a lot of cookies, yeah.
So once the cookies are out of the oven, they come over here?
Yeah, the hot hands bring the cookies to the servers, and then the servers take the customers' orders, and then they stack the cookies in either pails or cups. And we also sell coffee, milk, and water here. Perfect complements to cookies.
Absolutely. So I certainly wasn't going to leave Sweet Martha's Cookies without a cup of cookies. I'm going to get a couple buckets on my way out of the state fair, as I do every single year. But one of the things that I love about Sweet Martha's Cookies is that each cookie is like the perfect size. They're not too big, they're not too fat. They are like the perfect size grab-and-go cookie to eat while you're walking around the state fair. I absolutely love these cookies. I'm digging in and trying this one out. I'm telling you guys, there is no other taste that lets you know that you are at the Minnesota State Fair quite like Sweet Martha's Cookies. They're crispy on the outside, they're chewy in the middle, just the perfect balance of sweet, chocolatey, little bit salty. These cookies are now a Minnesota State Fair institution. These may be one of the most perfect chocolate chip cookies I've ever had. Man, I love these. So out of the 8 vendors that I've shown in this video, leave a comment below, let me know which one is your favorite. So guys, if you're hungry for more, check out that video right there. If you're starving for more, check out that playlist right there. Please do not forget to hit like and subscribe. This did not last very long, so I'm gonna go back and get in line, and I'm gonna get a bucket of cookies to bring home. Who am I kidding? I'm gonna get 10 buckets.